There's
Recording in progress.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 37th installment of the Biocoherence Masterclass. We are delighted to see that we have Jason on the call for the first time in a couple of weeks. So welcome, Jason.
Okay.
And,
Hey guys, it's nice to see you. Sorry I haven't been around. We're transitioning our clinic, so I'm very busy. I'm probably not gonna be able to stay on the whole time, but I did want to come on and say hello.
Cool. Anyway, we don't. I think for the summer we'll try and skip and keep the Thursday appointment open every Thursday, but just stick to general use and not present a lot of new functions, except functions to make your life easier. So this is mostly the focus now. And we will unveil a bunch of new functions around the summit that will take place in the beginning of October. So until that, we will work in the shadows and just be there to help you and to make your life simpler. So anything that can help. For instance, yesterday, Stephen, you raised the issue of being able to change practitioner, etc. So we didn't launch officially the Pro Directory yet, but we still have this Pro Directory possibility where you can register. So just so that you can remember, when you are a pro, you have here an entry which is called Pro Directory. So if you click on it, you can just edit your account here. So you just have to check you want to be listed on Pro Directory. You can enter your description, your profile picture, what languages you speak, images to make it, your specialties, your prices if you want, but that's not mandatory, of course, how to contact you, and eventually your client intake form, which means that your clients, if they contact you through the app, will have to approve this so that you are sure that everything is in the legality regarding what you need to do. So if you are a professional, please fill this Pro Directory entry, even if the Pro Directory is not yet public. It will be in the coming months, but not yet. Because this will allow you to be found when a user is wanting to share with you his account. So let's switch to a user view. So this is a user view, okay? So I just opened the app and I've opened my latest exploration. And as you can see, there is a new play screen, which is, you have this choice between play and understand on every app. But now on the play, you have the preview of the flower, which is the same as the one that you will see on progress, but with a little more explanation. So you have the 8 petals, the 9 petals, sorry. No, the 8 petals, and the main state, mostly stabilizing. And if you click on it, you have a little bit of text that explains what is about this flower. So this flower is the latest evaluation that you did. So the initial evaluation, if you did only once, but if you do another reevaluation, this flower will evolve with time. And again, in the next versions, we will have more screens here, and this will be the basis for screens that people will want to share on social media. So you will get some tabs here, and you will have this initial flower, but you will also have the evolution of your curves if you have several evaluations and re-evaluations. You will have probably your personality, which is a strong point to show, and people will probably want to share. So you will have a screen stating your personality, your Jung personality. And you will have a button to directly share it on social media if you want. So you can share the screen in one click, or you can share your personality, or you can share your progress. So the curve with a little bit of text that says what is progressing and so on. So this is also for people to brag a little bit on social media and to share some interesting visuals. So this is just a start, and this will be expanded in the coming times. So on the play screen, you have the bare minimum. So on my therapist point of view, I've checked that I want the user to have access to the PDF report. So it's right here. To have access to the Harmonic boost, to the personal guide, and you now have an access direct to share with the specialist with the name of the specialist, which will be better, of course. And when you click on this page as a user, you can just click on change expert. And this is where you had some difficulties yesterday, Laura, I think. So you can ask your clients to enter the invitation code of yours. And to find this invitation code, let's switch again to the view of the practitioner. If you click here to change the user, you can invite a contact. And when you click on invite a contact, you see your personal invitation code. This one, okay? So you will always be P something. It will be always the same for you. This is your invitation code as a practitioner. So you can just write it on a paper and give it to all of your contacts. It's always the same. And so your contacts, yes, this one. So we are back on the view on the user side. Your contact can only enter P20, okay, and it will change here the expert number, sorry, P20, okay, yes. So if I enter another number, for instance, P360, I've immediately changed to another account. And you saw that when I click on change experts, I now have a small history of the latest professionals I've worked with as an end user. So I can just click back on this one to change immediately the affiliation. What is happening when the user changes this affiliation means that on the practitioner side, let's go back to the practitioner. When you click on your contacts, you will now see your user here. And if you don't see him, you can just search for his name. So now I see him. But if he wasn't him here, you just enter a part of his name or his email or anything, and it will show here, because this is new from the latest version. It will not only search into your own contacts, but it will search into all contacts from BioCoherence on the server, which means that if it's not yet a contact of yours, it will be pulled from the server so that you can safely get him. And now you just have to click on him and you will have access to his different recordings here. If you want to claim a user that is not here, I should actually do it with a user that is not mine. So let me find a user that is not mine. I'll just create one. Okay, let me just create a new user.
Better, can I just ask a quick question just
Yes.
while you're doing it? So so you entered my invitation code there.
Yes.
And you added me as your therapist.
Yes.
On my side, then I refresh my contacts and I now see you as my client.
Yes, let's do the test, okay? Because I am back under me, so let's choose this one. So I change expert.
Yeah.
And I just click on your account.
Okay.
And now you should be able to refresh contacts. Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah.
Your app?
Yeah. I just have to join the meeting.
Recording in progress.
Okay. So try and refresh the contacts on the right. And if you don't see it, search on the bottom right.
Yeah.
And enter the client name, which is medtest. Enter. And it doesn't work. That's fine. Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so we'll check that. That's part of the little bugs that I wanted to fix in the next release. The correct way is that you should receive a notification when someone is affiliated to you, so that you can directly get it. But nonetheless, it should have popped into your system. Okay, what's up otherwise? I think that's what I wanted to show you. Something that could be useful, but it's not sure it's absolutely ready to show. I'll show you the rest next week when the release is available.
Okay, and then in terms of having the idea of the clinic, we'll be able to share a client between the therapists and then be able to work on them and then send them back to another therapist. Okay, that's cool. That's great.
Have you guys been working on the clinic idea?
Try, yes, just Stephen, try to click on shares on top and maybe you will find it at this point.
To click on where?
On the when you are on your contacts, let me just show you. So this is the contact that you created, but you have another tab here that is shares. And here you will find a lot of different contacts. And as you see for the clinic way, you can see a contact on the therapist that is related to this contact each time.
Okay, all right. I'm actually just seeing, okay, I think it's there, but it's just showing up as an ID number and not the name. So
okay, so there's still a little bit of work to do on this.
yeah, okay.
Anyway, you should the correct way that I wanted to finish is that you should get a notification that one new user is choosing you as a practitioner, so that you can get directly this information. So this will be easier with a notification.
Recording in progress.
Okay. Just one thing. So if you want to go, let me just check this one. Yes, that's good. Okay. So you remember you can create a client and invite them directly. So let's say I've just created this one. I go on about and I have a very short invitation code that I can send to my client, and it will log this client automatically into the system. So it only works for a new client that has never logged, because there is no need for a password for this one. If you click on invitation code, you can share it as an invitation code that they enter the first time they launch the app, or as a short URL, and they would just have to click on it to install the app and retrieve this code. But now you have this new option to just share it with a QR code. So if you have the user in your office, it could just point this QR code to your screen, and it would directly open this address. So you don't even have to send the address by email or by message or anything. Just the QR code would do. So this is also more convenient. And you have the same system for the basic programs when you want to share a basic program. So if you go to, I don't know, I feel sick, and you click on share, you have the same here. So always a short URL and this QR code that if the client is with you, it can directly point to open this invitation code. So this will be the same for all the invitation codes. We can do the same for the affiliation codes too. So you could have a short URL like that with your affiliation code, and it would open it in the app and try and apply it directly. So this is also something that we are working on making the same for all the invitation codes. Does someone have any question?
Laura had asked a question about how we're getting on clinic setup. Did you maybe want to ask that again, Laura?
Yes, which is on the share page. You see a lot of clients, and you see this is the practitioner, and this is the client, and so you can access with that. You can access all the different clients that are into your group. So I will see with you, Laura, how to set up a way of doing a clinic between you and TJ, probably. It would be the idea would be to put you under the same company, and when you are under the same company, you would then have an access right on every other's contacts.
And how many people can we have on that? Is there a limit?
No,
Like-
there is no limit. There is a limit of a few. Well, there is a preloading of a few hundred of contacts into your system. But now with this new system, when you do a search here, so if you don't have these contacts here or into shares, you can just do a search here and search for any name, and it will just search on our server on the cloud in all the client lists and retrieve them for you. So you can have 1 million contacts, and they will not be all on your initial screen. Only the most recent one are presented here. So the ones that you worked with recently.
Mhm.
But then
So
you just
TJ
type.
and I will be able to have separate clients, but on the same page
Sorry.
with our little. So before, I don't know where you had it, but it was like my name with and TJ's little picture was next to me.
Yeah.
So on our thing, will it be able to be like you see where it says Laura Cool and then TJ's little picture?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
So you would have your picture and your client's picture and name because it's your client, and TJ pictures and his client. So that would be a way to know whose client is related to. Lastly.
that's brilliant. Okay, and then we can all work together like on the same client at the same time. And
Yes.
that's thank you.
Yes, and it's quite complicated, so that's why it's a little bit longer than expected. But it's on a good way.
It's excellent. Thank you.
Tracy Extra Phone Gordon BFF. WhatsApp audio.
Okay, another question anyway.
So the features that you've been showing, I just realized I've never really used Play. I always thought Play was, goofing around. I've always been in the understand.
Yes.
And you just clicked on Play, and I have just experienced many more features that were very advantageous.
Well, that's new from the latest update. So even as a professional, you have this play and understand switch, and so you have here the progress with the latest flower, and if you have several recordings, you would have the curve. If you click on play, you see this same flower here, but more focused on it, and a little bit of text that would explain in normal terms the global evaluation. So it can be useful even for you. So that's why it's interesting to go between play and understand. And again, in this screen, we will have some more. It's like, a billboard view, a star view of the most important things that come from your analysis and that you maybe want to share with users. with other people.
So
Hmm.
does the user have the option for play as well? In other words, my client?
So users are defaulting to this screen, and practitioners are defaulting to these screens, but you still have the option to do both.
So on the play screen for my client,
Yes.
what resolves on the screen is what I have pre-selected for them to see only, or can they override that because they have a license?
If they have a license, they have more options, of course. So if you don't have a license, you will see this screen. Okay, so this is a user without any subscription. On your side, as a practitioner, you checked that you wanted to give him access to the PDF report and to the Harmonic Boost and personal guide. So he will have access to that. And he will have access to this general explanation and also the screen guide that could just explain the different parts of what he can do with the screen. So this is still a work in progress, but it's a very nice thing to just start to understand the app. But
right
if you
now,
click on understand, you see that most of the things are blurred. So globally, the chakra screen is always open as a preview, but all the screens are blurred, and this is just more a way to show users what they could have if they subscribe to the app. So they would start with this screen.
that's really good. Learn something new every day. Like I say, the light just keeps getting brighter.
Yes. But really, the focus lately is to remove all the pain points that you could have. So making things easier to share and to work with users and so on.
Yeah, and we have a number of calls organized over the next couple of days and weeks with individuals just to actually go through the little pain points and just actually spend the summer addressing all of those little issues, the niggly issues.
So just Laura, just to be extra clear, I will do some tests after the call to see that the invitation code and name and so on works well. The update will be done just after that. And so probably the problem that you had to fetch your new user should be fixed until tomorrow.
I think Nikki's on the call as well now.
Sorry?
I think that maybe Nikki is on the call, Laura's client. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, Nikki Hilton.
But
Yeah,
you know,
she's-
we just tested on your side, and my name didn't pop up on your list, so it seems there is a problem somewhere, and this is probably the problem that Laura experienced yesterday. So probably on Nikki's screen, we could have Laura's name, but the final issue was to have Nikki's name on Laura's screen.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I had to take a call. So I missed that.
No, I mean,
basically it's the progress.
no. Okay, so let's just try and get your code, Laura. Can you, Laura, go into your software and click on invite a contact and give me your invitation code? It's P something, unless
I
you
have
already have it on a
I
paper.
have it, yeah. It's P681.
Okay. P681.
81.
Okay, so this is TJ, and maybe you have another account to your name. I don't know. But anyway, so now this client account is under TJ, and the last thing that we need is to send a notification to TJ's computer or yours if you are using it, to tell you that you just got a new client under you.
How's it coming?
Yes, that's the point. Thank you for asking.
In fact, actually, sorry, I think that's actually the problem, is that when we entered Laura's code, it showed TJ's name. So somehow the accounts are linked because we're sharing an account.
But well, it is under TJ's account for her, even on her phone or her,
Okay,
bio.
but is it the account that you are using now?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been sharing an account this whole time.
Yes. Okay. So it should somehow be accessible now into your contacts. But we just tried with Steven, and my name didn't pop up into his contact name, so it doesn't seem so obvious as I wanted it to be. So we will do some tests after the call, and it will be fixed for tomorrow.
Okay. Do I have to invite a contact?
That's another option. But again, I wanted to show you, and I think it will have to wait for next week when everything is fixed, so that we can do a proper demo. And let's just say that this part is falling apart today and will be fine tomorrow.
Sounds good.
So could you please define what sharing an account is? Because I'm not real clear on that. So is it Laura and TJ are sharing a separate account, or they have combined an account together that they share clients between? I mean, there is a difference there.
Yes, right now they are doing something that will not be possible in the future. That is use the same login on several computers in the same time, which can be problematic because you don't know who is doing what and so on. So that's why we wanted to introduce this clinic solution, where several practitioners could be part of the same company. So even if it's not the same company, legally speaking, I don't care what we call a company anyway.
It's just the container, in other words. You set up a container that they can use
Yes,
to
exactly.
share.
So technically we call it a company, but that's just our internal affiliation. And if you are part of this of the same company, you can share all the contacts and all the different reports. And one of the things that is useful for that is, I don't know if you looked at that, but if you go, so I'm again back as a practitioner. If you go to notifications, when you have an exploration open, you have a new tab, which is called this exploration, and you have a log of everything that every pro or user did on this particular exploration. So you can know who did what, for instance, change some priorities or add some stimuli or things like that. And this is also in preparation of being able to work several different people on the same exploration.
So if I was to open up, I've seen that screen. If I was to open up, like when I open up an exploration, or even if it's just my account,
Yes.
and then up on the upper right hand below the three lines,
Yes.
it has 3x and date or whatever, and
Yes.
then 5x. So that for that particular exploration, if I have many, say there's 5 lines, it gives me the update, the last update. Is that what it's showing me? Or is
Yes,
it
I will try
just
and
the
open
file
another
heading?
one with more self-explanatory informations. No, not this one. Ah. Okay, you know what? I will just add some priorities. Remove this one, add this one, and now I should have some more information. Okay, that's better. So when you do anything like removing face, for instance, and now you go to notifications, you will see that me as a practitioner, I removed 2 priorities, and I've added 1 priority, and I've added 1 frequency program. So this is not very explanatory right now. It will be more clear when we release the clinic version to say what frequency program has been added and so on. But the ×2 means that I've just removed 2 priorities.
May I ask you a question?
Yes.
So with this kind of information, this is excellent because once you are able to see all of the different things that you've added or subtracted and where they are, it
Yes.
can be very helpful for other people
Yes.
that
Hmm.
may be working with the same thing. This is excellent. This is
Yes.
what I'm saying. Like working together in a clinic, to me, like so many minds together just makes way more sense than working separately. I love this.
Yes. And
That's what I love about this, Dan. That like if you had an issue with somebody and you and I could work together to figure out the best for that client, the overall health for the client, and it's excellent. I'm just so happy. Thank you.
that's great. But it's exactly the use case from this notification log. So when you go to notifications, so again here, you can manage notifications and ask to notify the computer or the mobile that you have. So right now you only have exploration updates, but we just saw that we need like new customer, or new user when someone is changing expert for you and chooses your account, you should get a notification that this user is now part of your clients. So this will be a new rule for notifications, and there will be many more. Again, this is a big work in progress because we are just building all the tools for a real community and for working together and knowing who did what and so on. So you get a general log of notifications. So for all the different files that you are working on, who is doing updates on what. So this is a general log of everything that you ever put your hands on. And this is the log only for the current exploration, so the file that is currently opened, and with more details, of course, details.
So,
And
so
this
could I
should be
share
more
my-
self-explanatory, of course. Yes,
Um,
Dan.
what, I mean, okay, so this is what I was talking about, and you are now showing that it's added, so, oh, I didn't want to stop share, I clicked okay, so there we go. Share. So can you see this screen?
Yes.
Okay, so really this is what you've modified since, I don't know, I think I'm in 127.7 version. So the 1X is, I've only made one update, and it's not really showing, unless I click on it, it's not really showing, because I know for sure on some of these I've added.
So what I see now is that you don't have the yes, this exploration. Now it shows on top. So go back. If you open the menu again and notifications, now you have this exploration as a first tab. So you can click on it under the title. Yes.
Oh.
And now you have
Okay.
the list of everything that has been done on this particular exploration. But again, it's not very self-explanatory yet, so it will be enhanced.
Okay, that's, I understand now, because I was looking at the notifications before, right, and only seeing,
So of course, you only have it for this exploration when the exploration is open. So you have to open the exploration first.
oh, okay. Okay. I'll go back. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop sharing. I understand now.
And by the way, I think that you can just click on it. Yes, and if you click on it, it will just open this exploration and update it and you will be into it. Or maybe not. I have to check that.
So you've just combined a lot of links that I don't have to go searching for. You've just combined those into one area, which is brilliant. How about the harmonic boost, the control buttons for playing?
Yes, no, it works.
That
Yeah.
yeah, that will allow you from any point in the analysis to, for someone who may not be
Yes,
fully.
okay. We discussed it yesterday. I see. Okay, so let me just, we had a discussion with Dan yesterday, and the idea was that maybe it would be useful. We always have this plus button to add it to the priorities, but maybe it would be useful to have a play button here to directly play the harmonic boost from any page, because right now you would have to click here to go to frequencies and to play it, which works, but it's 3 clicks or 4 clicks. And so maybe you just want to have a play button here. And the stop button,
Be very
because we don't have this
beneficial
stop
with,
button.
live testing, right? They could live test
Hmm.
it, or we could be sharing a session, and then we could be live testing, and the play button is right there.
Yeah.
And then you can go into live tests and do another, I mean, if they have a scanner. And
Yes, it's a good idea. Yeah. So maybe it would be good to have this button here and a play button just under, and to have it in every page. Why not?
Yeah.
What do you think? People
Yeah.
that are not done.
and
Because
then
I
they
know
can
Dan loves it. What do you say, Stephen? Stephen?
Sorry, no, I think fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Who is against? Raise your hands. Who is against? Who is for? Let's just vote everything.
Well, one of the questions I have is, like, when you showed that you can play the harmonics, when you hit it, like go back to that button.
Yeah.
That never worked. That does not, that 3-click thing that you said happened. Yeah,
Okay, so 1, 2, and 3.
that never works for me.
But maybe it will work now. So
Okay.
what is really missing is the stop button, because I'm just realizing that if you do that, you don't have a stop button. You have to go to a harmonic boost, and now you have the stop button. So this will be fixed too. So stop button if one has been played, because you only have it if you play the whole harmonic boost. This one. This one is you can launch an harmonic boost and just go somewhere else and live your life, and you still have this play bar that will be everywhere.
Oh, so
And
you should be able to play gallbladder right there.
so the idea would be that we put a play button here, and when you play it, you would have the stop button on the bottom to stop it anytime, or maybe the stop button here too. But
Because sometimes like the reaction of the client listening to it is what tells me that they need it or not.
yes, exactly. So that's why Dan had a very good idea to add this play button everywhere, and I think it's a good idea. Yeah.
Excellent.
And by the way, all of this is now pre-computed. It means that if you start a frequency, you can close the screen, and this is not generated live. This is just pre-computed, as exactly like the personal guide. So let's stop it. Okay, so we still have some things to fix before releasing the next version, but that's small details that will just make things easier and are not very complicated to add to the next release.
So I have another question on
Yes.
the progress flower.
Yes.
So how does that update? I mean, when I'm looking at it, is it the previous exploration is, and I realize that when you open up an exploration, it usually, you know, recalculates on your system, wherever it pulls it from, the server or whatever.
It used to do that, but now we are saving larger files so that you don't have to recompute every time. So as you can see, for instance, this one, if I open it from scratch, it just opens it very quickly, and that's all. Okay, and you don't have to recompute everything. So now we will keep more data for all the points that we want to check.
So is it always a global, in other words, an aggregate composition that's displayed? Can you isolate, like, for instance, the gallbladder example that you know, which
Yes.
Laura was asking about?
Yes. So you would go back here, and you would have this curve, which is
Okay.
specific, which is only for the liver or for the bladder. Or I don't know.
Okay,
Where did
that's
I
what
click?
I was asking.
Bladder. Okay.
Okay,
So-
so one more quick question. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
Bring that up because so the number or the number in the middle of the flower,
Yes.
say it's like 86, right?
Yes.
That's a good number, right? You want it to get to 100, is that correct?
It would be very hard to go to 100, but yes.
Well, right,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, like the
Yeah.
higher the number.
That's the goal. Okay.
But then when you go into the like doing things, the lower the number is better, correct? It's like kind of a mind
No.
mess with
The higher the better, generally.
on both sides. Okay, so is it the oh, this is so confusing then.
It's a kind of grade from 0 to 100, and 0 is very bad, and 100 is very good.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna relook at it to make sure, because like, but you okay, I think I got it now. But it's the lower number that you want to add in. But then that when they say like, oh, so it's so confusing. Like when you do, like push on that right now. Yeah, just like get into like where there's
Yes.
like euphoria, right? So usually there's like a number in the middle of that,
Yes,
right?
it should be. So why is it not? Because I didn't. That's very strange. It should have the name of. So maybe I would have to
Yeah,
recompute
sometimes
it.
it does, sometimes it doesn't. But
Yeah.
like when you go into the harmonics and I want to add a stimulus to something, and I look at stuff, yeah, like right there, like euphoria, and you were to add like let's say allergies, right? And allergies were to come up, or just let's use the first one, and it would give you like yes, like there you go, those numbers. So the lower the number, the 5%, that's where you want to stay away.
Yes.
But if you have like a higher number in the green, I think that's where it like kind of messes with my brain a little
Yes,
bit.
and for you, I've clarified this wording because you remember we had something like not recommended, which doesn't mean it's not recommended. It just means that it is not into the recommendations. So I have clarified this wording. So now the former not recommended is reverse impact.
Right, so the higher the number, the better.
Yes, because you see, 35 is a medium impact.
But do you see how that's kind of like messing with my mind a little
24
bit?
is a low impact. So it's all labeled as impact now because this is stimuli, and this one would have a medium impact according to the attached biomarkers. And if we want to find medium, okay, high impact. So if you add this one, it should mean that its stated effect should go into the good direction with a high impact. So you can
But it,
observe this
but
one.
it's really something that's really annoying them right now, like in their bodies, correct?
Not directly, because we don't, for instance, for this, I don't know, build mite, I don't know what it is. We are not doing a direct analysis of if this bird mite is present into the system or not. So we don't have this definitive answer of is this particular burden actually into the body of our users or not. What we know is that this program is associated with certain biomarkers that are currently in need. So if we play the frequencies that are associated with this program, it should help the biomarkers that are currently in need with a high impact.
Right, like one of my clients is like a 5-year-old boy and he's got asthma. So I
Okay.
go into his and I look at all the biomarkers, and the higher the impact for something that was related to his asthma or his allergies is what I put on.
Yes,
Is what
that's exactly
I
it.
add. Correct. Okay. Okay. Just making sure, because like in this, those higher impacts are what you want to add. It just kind of, to me, it's messing with my mind, but it just maybe the way my brain is, and it
No,
like
no.
y'all,
So the higher the number, the higher the impact for the stimuli.
but then the higher the number, the better in on your flower. So do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, it's true. It's not the
Yep.
same scale. This
I
is an
know.
impact scale, and the other one
but-
is an integral coherence scale. So
It's just
But
a
also,
different way of seeing things, and it took me a little bit to like figure it
but you
out. But
can,
now that I've talked to you, I get that I'm on the right page. Go ahead, Anton. Sorry.
I'm not sure he actually wants to
I
speak.
just wanted to say that
Okay.
it's both the good numbers. So this is good impact on asthma, and this is good progress. So it's like good number. Higher number, good effect. Higher the number, also good effect in progress. So it's
Yes,
like,
but what Laura means is that maybe when you are picking up emotions, for instance, you want to work with the one with the lowest number because they are the ones that need the most help, and they are probably the one into the priorities with the lowest number. When you work with the stimuli, you want to work with the highest number because this will be the ones that will have the most impact to change this low number into high numbers. So maybe, Laura, you can understand it like that. If you use stimuli with high numbers, it will help the low number go to a high number.
And that's what I was saying. That was like a mind shift for me. I was like, it took me a minute to like figure that out, being like, okay, so I'm gonna add this lower one that will help it go to the higher. Yeah. It's very confusing at times,
But you know
I've
what?
got
Maybe we could do something like instead of I'm just thinking out loud, but instead of putting so let me just share this screen again. Okay. Instead of putting percentage here, maybe we could just say plus 31. And for this one, we have minus 6%. Maybe we can just say just minus 6. So you have this idea that it would enhance your integral coherence score negatively or positively. Maybe it would be more, it would make more sense for you.
Well, could
I don't
you,
know. I don't know.
you know, it's always about bringing it, whenever you see pairs, constructive, destructive, it's always about bringing that particular uh, grouping into balance.
Yes.
So you want to work, you know, sometimes, you know, like with me, willpower is always really, you know, it's really low, right? Okay. And the other one would be euphoria, right? So euphoria is usually really high. In that case, it's easier to see that I want to add to my willpower. But
Yeah.
another thing that used to be possible or used to show in the software was when you were able to reorient the sort view based on how they showed up in the scan. And then you could arrange it that way, right? Instead of just showing just blasting it out, you could reorient the sort. In other words, if you could do the same thing, go back to your the screen, just click on one of those, right? Well, keep going, yeah. Okay, so now it's the, you know, right now you have low impacts and high impacts and no impacts and no definition at all. So if you could resort those into high, right, and base it on the opposite, right? So either right now it's just a screen that shows all, like in some of those, you know, theme or body, right? There may
Yes.
be
What
633.
what you suggest is to add some button to sort them or to show only the high impact ones.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's
And
something I
that's,
wanted to do, but it's not done yet. But at some point, we should have a way to order them by impact, like we have in the list, for instance.
Yeah.
like, if you
Well,
go to theme and then this scan,
Yes. Mhm.
I'll go to this scan, on down, yeah. So, is there any way to put all of those together? No?
I
Or is
think the
there a
best way,
option?
the best would be to have the same button as we have in lists to order by scan evaluation. You know, we already have this button in the list, and we should have the same here. Just order by scan evaluation, and you would have the high impact first, and that would be
That would be great.
all. And by
So
the
could
way,
you-
I don't even know in what order they are presented here, but the only order that makes sense is by
Well,
impact.
that's
So
why the being able to search it is so important. I just wish the search would also include everything, not just what comes up on these scans,
it
like
does.
what's
Yeah.
associated with.
Yeah.
Because like Euphoria, if I put the DNA repair on there, when like from my understanding is that it doesn't really matter where you put the stimulus because it's gonna they're gonna benefit from it, right? It doesn't have to be under Euphoria
Mm.
DNA repair,
It's
right? It could also be under like lungs,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it would work, but the way it is done is that these particular frequencies are intertwined with the organ frequencies that you choose. So in this case, Euphoria, and both frequencies are played together. So you will anyway get the frequencies that are linked to DNA repair because they will be played, but they will be played at the same time of the structure of your choosing. And
Right.
in this way, the idea is that we want to target these DNA repair frequencies on top of when we play Euphoria. And so we stimulate this emotion, and when we stimulate this emotion, we add this specific DNA repair frequencies. And so the idea is that by playing the two sets of frequencies together, we will make the structure resonate, and we will give him some information to act. Okay, so
And I 100% agree with that. But like for me, sometimes I want to put something under their organs that I'm like, well, they really need this, but I can't get to it. I have to go somewhere else.
yes, so you would have to first add the organ to your frequencies and then add some stimuli on top of it. But
Right, but some of the stimuli won't come up. That's my point.
they should, when you search, it search into everything. It should search into everything. No?
But it doesn't know.
Okay.
So like at least not on my end.
Okay.
So like if you go into Euphoria and add gold, it won't come up.
Okay. Interesting. But do we have gold as a...
Well,
should be.
Christina has it on some of her stuff, and I love it because gold has that certain vibration that's
Yes, but
Cool.
okay, so I get it. What you want to do is add some structure on top of other structures, which is not possible. If you want to add gold, I think the best way would be to go to biomarker.
Can you show us on
Yes,
as
yes.
you're doing?
you click on Euphoria here, and you are into the biomarker search. And here you
see
enter
the
Not
gold.
seeing it, not seeing it, that's our point.
Here you enter gold. You click on gold.
No, we can't, it's just not on the screen.
No,
Better.
it's not on the same screen because this is
No,
not.
no, stop for a second. We as a whole group here can't see your screen. There you go,
Okay.
thank you.
But I can't see
Sorry.
that.
So let's go back. My bad. So you were somewhere. You want to add a specific frequency to your program. Here you can't. So you have to go to the priorities and click on plus, pick a
Okay.
priority, and you search gold. And now you just have to click on it. And
Well,
now
that has never worked for me. How did you do that?
plus, sorry, let's do everything. So priorities,
Go to
plus,
plus.
and pick a priority. And there you can search by keyword.
Okay. I will
Okay.
definitely try that. Thank you.
And this is because it is not a stimulus, it's a structure. And because it's a structure, you cannot add it on top of another structure. So you have to add it as a priority.
Okay. I mean, it'll still work, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, what he's saying is it's a structure and the biomarkers in there, when you are trying to add it, maybe even under causal chain or whatever, because the gold is a structure, it's a primary structure, just
Yes.
like euphoria is a primary on top of a primary.
Exactly.
Because it's going to basically cancel out or cause a distortion that's not beneficial in the vibration. And, another way that I would ask, and I don't know if it's possible, like I said, with euphoria and willpower, okay, I'm just using that as an example, when it comes up under drives or momentum, there's pairs there. So is it possible to, when you sort the value, right, in program or this scan or whatever, is it, not only is it high impact, but because you always list, the, in the stimuli, it says, okay, well, this is good for body, right? So is there another way, because not everybody may want this feature, but just a button that combines, in other words, this frequency works in 3 groups according to the scan. And it has high impact, but can you group them according to not just the impact, but the aggregate of assorted structures that it relates to? Is that possible? Do you understand?
I think
In
that's the
sort
kind of
type.
things that you have into the causal chain, probably. Because in the causal chain, you see the common resonances between the different structures.
And in my causal chain, at least on my PC, it still is generating the green ones, they're still generated off screen, and I can only zoom in and out to a certain limit, and then it just doesn't work anymore.
It's
Right.
true. That's still something that I have
So-
to fix for you.
What
Yeah,
we
definitely
could,
need to add the zoom to the causal chain.
Yeah.
Definitely.
even if you just added a bottom slide button that allows you to move horizontally back and forth in the screen.
Yes. Okay, true.
So that's interesting what you brought up, Dan. I've never thought about that before, about like how gold is whatever you call it. You said
A primary structure, the software looks at it as a primary structure.
Yeah.
And then
primary structure. Can you explain a primary structure compared to a stimulus?
Yes. So all biomarkers have an attached resonance structure. So all biomarkers can be measured into the pulse. So when we use this, we can deduce some information about all the biomarkers that we have in biocoherence. And all these biomarkers have some specific resonance frequencies that are tied to their physical or energetic structure. It means that these frequencies will address and make them resonate and put them into motion and so on. So this is what we call structure frequencies, and these are the white items into the harmonic boosts. On top of that, we have the stimuli. And the stimuli are more on the action part of things. It means that we will want to make this stimuli vibrate on specific frequencies to correct something or to enhance something. And these stimuli, as I designed biocoherence, are only possible to put on top of existing structures so that we can mix the.
So the gold then, I guess I guess I'm seeing it differently than you are, but it's interesting now that I get it now. I just don't, I guess I don't know like which one would be one, but like if you can't, like which one would be that and not another, and not the stimulus. Do you know what I'm like? You have, I guess it's just like a learning curve, right?
Yes, but at one point I was telling myself that we should maybe have just one one Google box into the app, and you type something and it will just show you what it finds into everything, whatever the keyword, and maybe that would help, like search everywhere and it would retrieve everything that it finds with the keywords that you entered. So this is still something that I wanted to do, and if we have this like unified search function, it would search into structures, into stimuli, into the different screens, and so on, so that you could just pull everything in a more easier way. I think that would make sense.
Well, another thing I think is, maybe in the personal guide or even in the harmonic boost, right? It groups things together, frequencies together that are close enough to resonate, right? So the frequencies will resonate the intended grouping, okay? And then in that resonation, when they start resonating, then it's easier to add power. But if you have a structure on top of a structure, right? The structure by itself, or it could also be grouped with other structures, but that are closer. It's just when you have them really close on top of one another, it's almost like they cancel out or it becomes disharmonious. So it won't
That's what I want
resonate
to
with the
know.
body.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave. I get it.
I mean, theoretically, it would be possible to play two structures together and see what happens if we want to connect. I don't know if we want to connect directly the liver with the kidneys, or I don't know what. It's not technically possible right now, because that's not how I've thought these frequency things. But maybe, I don't know. We would have to run some tests and see if it makes sense. It's more or less what we do when we use the resources and priorities during the meditation, because we first play the structure frequencies of the resource, and we mobilize the resource energy through the voice that is the personal guide, and then we address the priorities by playing the frequencies of the structure related to the priorities, and sending this energy consciously through the voice that guides you. So right now it's played in sequence anyway. So first the resource and then the priority, to make this connection between the two. But if you have some stimuli, it's played at the same time as the structure frequencies. So I don't know,
guess
maybe that's something that we could change too.
I didn't realize what you guys just told me about the stimuli and the like you can't do two of those together because they cancel each other out. I didn't know that. That's excellent. That's just excellent to understand now. Because I just here haven't got figured out what is all structures and then what's a stimuli. But like,
Well,
that's great to know. I mean, it'll show me, right, when I can't get it.
yes.
Okay.
I would really like to add something that it doesn't cancel out in the way that you're thinking, like in the sound canceling headphones. It's not that it cancels it out, it's when you combine those frequencies, they become disharmonious and destructive. So
Right.
that's why, and it may not be destructive to the body, but it may be destructive to the tones. And in that sense, you're canceling both of them out because they're now destructive instead of constructive. So canceling would only happen if you could shift the frequency 180 degrees, like in the Bose noise canceling headphones. They take the noise, car driving by, people talking, and the frequency comes in and then it shifts that frequency 180 degrees, but only those frequencies. And that's what cancels those frequencies out to a certain extent, so you don't hear them,
Okay.
okay? But in biocoherence, it's always about disharmony bringing back into, well, disharmony bringing back into coherence. So, I mean, in essence, that's what,
If I put gold and like euphoria together, they would not be harmonious.
yes.
It's hard to say. Right now, it's done to be played sequentially. So you would play first gold and then euphoria, or the opposite. And it's also because you only have so much attention, you know. So you can focus on something and then something else. And if you play too many frequencies at the same time, everything will just become like a fog of frequencies, and nothing will work anymore. So that's why we play it in sequence.
Yes, as Dan Winter would say, it would not become negentropic. It would go back into entropy, right? When you have too many frequencies together. Because really, what you're doing is when you bring something into negentropic compression, you are bringing it into focus, into coherent focus. Having too many frequencies at one time becomes, just chaotic, right? It's disharmonious.
That is brilliant. I have like a whole different understanding now. Thank you. Whole
Great.
different understanding.
Yeah.
That I could bring gold into it, and that will enhance the body, but it doesn't have to be with like euphoria.
No.
But it can still enhance the body
Yeah.
and bring that energy in.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. Mind blown today. Thank you.
Okay, so maybe we stop here unless someone else has a question.
No, I think actually just maybe to remind people that for the summit, you have extended the early bird until tomorrow, the 4th of July. So, or is that the case?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
okay.
is.
Yeah, so the early bird is still available for the summit until tomorrow.
Okay, so I'll stop the recording here.
Recording stopped.